Hey friends, Cinema Recapped here. Today I will explain to you a 2010 thriller action film named The Next 3 Days. The movie starts late at darkness in the middle of town. School teacher John Brennan nervously drives his car with a deceasing man on the passenger seat. As he tries to decide what to do following, we get to see how it all started. 3 years ago, John has an ordinary life with his wife Lara and his son Luke in a lovely house in the suburbs. One sunrise, after she takes her routine insulin injection, Lara is shocked to find a blood stain on her jacket and takes it to the sink to wash it, but before she's done, the police unexpectedly storm into the house and arrest her for murder. Lara is convicted to life in prison, and John must raise Luke on his own. But John doesn't give up. He proceeds to pay a lawyer to appeal her case and regularly visits Lara in prison with Luke, who doesn't pay much attention to his mother when she tries to connect with him. 3 months ago, John goes over the information with his lawyer again. Lara swears there had been another woman she bumped into and made her lose her button, but there's not sufficient proof to send the cops searching for her. There is, nonetheless, a lot of evidence against Lara. A co-worker saw her leaving the scene. The victim's blood is on her clothes, and her fingerprints are on the murder weapon. The lawyer points out that no matter what they believe, Lara is never getting out, so John fires him. Thereafter, he visits Lara to give her this news, and she guesses as soon as she sees his crying face, causing her to have a breakdown. Later that darkness, John gets a call saying Lara has been sent to the hospital. After arguing with the cop and the doctor, he's eventually allowed to see her for a few minutes, and he finds her handcuffed to the bed and with a bandage around her wrist that gives him a clue of what she did. At that eternity, John decides he'll do anything he can to get Lara out of jail, even if he needs to go down the illegal route. He onsets by reading books about prison breaks and arranges a meeting with former inmate Damon Pennington, who escaped from jail 7 times. Damon doesn't believe John's tale about this being college research, but he gives him a few tips anyway. In exchange for a few money, look for things that break up the prison's daily routine. Have an objective already in mind that doesn't attract tourists. Plan how to get there in advance, stay away from stations and airports, leave from another state, find good fake documents, and pay everything with cash. This means he'll wish a decent amount of cash to last him around 5 years. The 2 greatly difficult parts will be 1. Dealing with Pittsburgh's bridges, because since they have learned to lock up the city in 15 minutes, and 2. Being ready to leave his parents for good and kill if essential. As soon as John returns home, he takes over a wall to begin sketching his plan with a map, pictures, clues, and estimations. Whenever he visits Lara in jail, he pays attention to details like the elevator having a keyhole, workers arriving over to fix a leak on the ceiling, and which trucks stop by every day. John grows so desperate that he even looks at all this information on his laptop while teaching his classes, and puts his house on sale to get the money required for their future. In order to get the fake papers, John begins going to a shady neighborhood to buy OxyContin and asks the dealers for any connections that know how to do good passports. It takes him a few tries until he finds a guy that tells him to go to a bar to find the right man, and John accidentally falls into a trap where they told him to go there to get mugged. All this is watched by Mike, a weird guy sitting at the bar. He recovers to the shady neighborhood a few days later, and this time, he's followed by 2 bikes. When he gets residence, he hears the doorbell ring and finds Mike there, offering him his services. John gives him some photographs and some cash in advance before asking Mike not to return to his house ever again. He'll do the pickup at additional location. Mike agrees and reminds John that if he doesn't arrive on time, John should flee. His following step is buying a gun and asking the seller how to use it. When Wednesday comes, he goes to the agreed location to meet with Mike, and stays lasting there even after noticing the time is late. After a car parking nearby leaves, Mike eventually shows up and scolds John for staying so long since that car that left had been a cop. He gives John the papers and says he wants this too much, and such desperation will cause him to make a mistake. John's following action is to learn how to make a bump key, which is a key that can open any door. After following an internet tutorial, he decides to try it out the following time he goes to visit Lara. Before passing through the metal detector, he throws the bump key with his ordinary ones in the bowl. And later the detector declares him clean. He grabs the bowl himself to hide the key in his hand before the cop can check it out. As the line of visitors is guided through the hallway, John makes sure to stay last as he approaches the elevator and inserts the key. Unfortunately, the key breaks and half of it gets stuck in the hole. So John has to throw away the half in his hand while he plays innocent and waits for the inevitable a cop coming to the elevator and discover it. When this happens, all visitors are interrogated one by one, and the officer rapidly gets suspicious of John when he points at the security camera image and says he's behind everyone. The shot just didn't catch his face. Anxiety isn't proof though, so John is allowed to leave, and as soon as he steps out of the building, he throws up. Detective Quinnan discerns this and becomes suspicious as well. Unaware that Quinnan is maintaining an eye on him, John begins selling his furniture and ignoring his brother whenever he comes by to check on him. One afternoon, when he takes Luke to the park, they receive an invitation to go to his colleague Carrie's birthday party, which will be thrown in a few days. Later, John goes back to his investigation, and when he notices a new vehicle stopping by the prison, he eventually finds the key to executing his plan, the medical vans. John researches Lara's kind of diabetes, follows the van around to study its schedule, and learns how to unlock a car with a tennis ball from the internet. The following day, he follows the ball method to break into the medical van and take a picture of his wife's tests, which later he edits on the computer to make it look like she is sicker than she certainly is. The following time she visits Lara, she has terrible news. In 3 days she'll be transferred to a high-security facility. Now John must modify his entire plan to make it fit in such a short amount of time. The main issue is the cash, since he hasn't sold the house yet, so he grabs his gun and drives to a bank, intending to rob it. But in the end, he can't bring himself to do it. Thereafter, he visits Lara again to tell her he's trying to appeal against her transfer and admits he hasn't been spending much time with Luke. Lara is angry because John doesn't want to accept reality and proceeds to live in some dream where there's still hope for her, so to make him give up, she tells him she did kill her co-worker before fleeing the room. But John still doesn't believe her, so he asks to see her again and swears he'll get her out. Determined to get the cash he needs, when night falls, John goes back to the shady neighborhood and follows one of the sellers to the house of his provider, Alex. As soon as he sees a vacancy, John grabs the dealer and pushes him inside, causing the guard dog to bite his leg. John threatens everyone with his gun and makes Alex lock the dog and his friend away before asking them for the cash. But the men only give him what they have in their pockets. Alex thinks John doesn't have the guts to kill since he wasn't able to even shoot the dog. So John proves he's severe by starting a fire with a bottle of whiskey. Claiming he has a kid in the house, Alex runs upstairs. John follows him using the dealer as a shield, which turns out to be a good idea because Alex certainly has come up to grab his own gun. The dealer takes the bullet for John, and when Alex comes for him following, John manages to shoot him first. Thereafter, John searches the rooms and finds a bag full of money, but on his way out, he discovers the dealer is still alive and asking for help. Now we go back to the beginning with John having the bleeding dealer in his car, which has lost a taillight. He considers taking him to a hospital, but before he can make up his mentality, the dealer dies. John gets rid of him by leaving his body at a bus stop, then goes to a specific parking lot to make a cut on the fence. Alex's house burns down and the police come to investigate. Discover blood on the floor and the pieces of the broken taillight as clues. Meanwhile, John spends the darkness at his parents' place, so when his father goes to put his bag away, he finds the plane tickets and guesses what John is planning to do. The following morning, John makes sure Luke gives his grandparents a good hug since it'll be the last one. And John's father gives him a hug as well, wishing him a heartful goodbye. Today, John is eventually ready to execute his plan. After packing up and throwing away all the paperwork related to his planning into separate trash bags, he stops by the med center and cuts all their phone lines. Then he halts into the van and replaces Lara's blood tests with the ones he falsified before dropping Luke at Carrie's birthday party. Before leaving, he tells the girl's mother that Luke has his grandparents' number in his jacket in case John runs late. At the sanitarium, they see the fake blood results, and since they can't call the lab to double-check, the doctor requests Lara to be transferred so she can be kept under observation. Meanwhile, the cops use the broken taillight to get the car model and track it back to John. So they go check out his house and discover the weird state of what used to be his planning wall. When they get a call from the station saying Lara is being transferred to the hospital, the investigators ask for escorts and rush to the hospital too, supposing John's intentions. But John arrives at the hospital before them and gets into Lara's room by wearing a coat and pretending to be a doctor. Endangering the cops with his gun, he gets them to uncuff Lara before tying them up, but Lara refuses to leave with him. So in order to make her change her mind, John offers his phone so that she can call Luke and tell him neither of his parents is arriving back. Seeing as she has no other choice, Lara accepts to escape and alterations into the clothes John has brought for her. Then the two of them get into an elevator right as a nurse sees them leave the room and starts calling for security. John and Lara ditch their white coats and reach the lobby, but the investigators are there waiting for them. So John presses another button to go to another floor. When they get there though, rather of getting out, John drops their coats near the stairs before getting into the elevator again. Now the cops think they took the stairs to the parking lot and run there, but the couple certainly has gone back to the lobby, leaving through the front door. Once they reach the streets, John turns over his jacket so they can join a group of Pittsburgh Penguins fans that are heading towards the station. They manage to get on the subway before the investigators catch up with them. But because John knows cops will be waiting for them at the next station, he unexpectedly pulls the emergency brake. He and Lara get off the train, which has stopped right beside the parking lot John visited the other night. They sneak in through the hole he cut on the fence and get in the car John had already accumulated there. They manage to cross the first bridge in time, so the following step is to pick up Luke. Unfortunately, there's a little detail John missed and only finds out when he stops at Carrie's house. The party is at the zoo, and they haven't come back yet. While the cops investigate John's neighborhood and find the trash bag with his planned papers, John hustles to the zoo, only to change roads at the last minute. He doesn't think they can pick him up in time before they close off the roads, so they could leave Luke to be grabbed up by his grandparents and come for him in the future. Lara hates the idea and opens the car door to expose her head to the road, refusing to live without her child. After nearly crashing against a truck, John stops the car and reconnects with Lara, accepting to go for their son after all. They drive to the zoo, and after picking Luke up, they need to discover a way to cross the checkpoint without being found. Thankfully, John gets an idea. He stops by the train station and picks up an elderly couple to offer them a ride. Guards at the checkpoint are only searching for a youthful couple with a kid for now, so they manage to cross safely. After dropping the elders in town, they go to a Canadian airport and pass through passport control right before their pictures seem on the wanted list. And thanks to an alteration of shifts, the new guard doesn't know they're inside. The cops put jointly the paper pieces they found in John's trash and find a picture of Haiti. So they send a team to stop all flights to that country, to no avail. Quinnen understands then that they only found half of the plan because this bag was left behind by John on purpose with a fake clue to delay them. Meanwhile, the family safely boards a plane to Venezuela. A few days later, John and Lara are cheerfully living in Caracas with Luke. Detective Quinnen returns to the scene of the crime with a new theory. The evening of the murder, it had been raining, and nothing took that into account. Lara had told that she found the murder weapon, which was a fire extinguisher. on the floor and moved it so it wasn't on the way, and that was how she got blood on her jacket. She never saw the body, but on her way out, she bumped into the killer and lost a jacket button that was never found to be utilized as evidence. But if that day rained, the water could have hauled the button down the drain. Quentin checks the drain and doesn't find it, but the button is right there. Barely out of his reach, Lara has been innocent all along. And the end. If you are a lover of similar content like this, take a look at my various videos, and if you love it, please burst the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash the notification horn. Take sight of you in the next video.